Chelsea's latest financial results, announced during the final hours of 2019, went beyond merely confirming a lean year at Stamford Bridge. They underlined that the club are not sustainable at an elite level without the benefits of regular Champions League participation. There was heavy spending in 2018-19 to acquire Kepa Arrizabalaga, Jorginho and Christian Pulisic, but the accounts reveal that Roman Abramovich poured in a staggering £247 million of his personal wealth to enable them to do so, via his holding company Fordstam Limited. In one sense, that is hugely encouraging. It confirms Abramovich's continued commitment to Chelsea at a time when his interest was becoming tenuous and rumours suggested that he was looking to sell. On the other hand, the level of Abramovich's financial support sits uneasily with Chelsea's sustainability drive since UEFA introduced its FFP regulations in 2012. An eye-watering pre-tax loss of £101.8 million is the largest recorded by the club since 2005, when Abramovich was bankrolling the construction of Jose Mourinho's dominant Premier League title winners. Were it not for a £60.4 million profit on player trading, thanks in part to the sale of Thibaut Courtois to Real Madrid, the bottom line would have been even uglier. Now, there's also nothing in the numbers to hint that Chelsea won a major European trophy in 2018-19. Overall broadcast revenue actually fell from £204.1 million in 2018 to £200.2 million in 2019, while matchday income dropped from £73.9 million in 2018 to £66.6 million the following year, despite Stamford Bridge hosting 2 more games across all competitions. In financial terms, the Europa League triumph with Maurizio Sarri was significantly less valuable to Chelsea than elimination from the Champions League round of 16 under Antonio Conte. That unforgiving reality underlines why, even during what is widely regarded as a transition season, the pressure on Frank Lampard to deliver a top 4 finish in the Premier League is considerable. The stakes are high, confirmed Dr. Rob Wilson, football finance expert at Sheffield Hallam University. You get into very difficult space if you have a couple of seasons out of the Champions League because your closest rivals are the ones taking the spots. You have around a £60 million drop in your revenue while they get a £60 million boost to theirs, so the net effect is around €120 million. The clubs are permitted to lose only a total of €30 million, about £25.5 million, over the course of any 3-year monitoring period. Chelsea's pre-tax profits of £16 million in 2017 and a club record £67 million in 2018 ensure there is no immediate danger of failing to comply. But the picture gets more complicated if 2020 yields another significant loss. Now, the early signs on that front are positive. Chelsea have already banked £115.4 million from player sales for the next financial year, headlined of course by the sale of Eden Hazard to Real Madrid, and a FIFA-imposed transfer ban limited their summer spending to just the £40 million required to sign Mateo Kovacic permanently. Now, they're also back in the Champions League and have qualified for the knockout stage. Lampard is unlikely to be sacked anytime soon, and even if he were, such a divorce would be nothing like as costly as the £26.6 million it took to get rid of Conte and his large backroom team. Chelsea's decision to battle the Italian in the courts for more than a year proved an expensive, failed gamble, and it's easy to see why they subsequently sought about £5 million in compensation from Juventus to release Sarri. Conte's severance package, the most lucrative in the Abramovich era, takes the cumulative amount the Russian has spent to get rid of managers since arriving at Stamford Bridge in 2003 beyond £100 million. Given the FFP considerations governing the rest of Chelsea's football decisions, he has every reason to give Lampard time and patience to carry out his rebuild. Now, Chelsea fought hard for the ability to be able to sign players this January, and there is scope in the current FFP equation to strengthen Lampard's squad. It's clear, though, that any investment on the level that it would take to bring in Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund or to convince Leicester to part with Ben Chilwell would be far simpler to balance in the summer. Just as important in the next 2 transfer windows will be the task of trimming what has become a bloated wage bill, up to £285.6 million from £244.1 million in 2018, a worrying 63.9% of the club's turnover. The loss of Hazard will help ease the strain, but Olivier Giroud, Ross Barkley and Marcos Alonso are just 3 examples of players on the first-team fringe currently earning 6-figure weekly salaries. Lampard's youth movement looks certain to save Chelsea millions in the transfer market over the years to come, if not in terms of the wage bill. Mason Mount, Fikayo Tomori and Ruben Loftus-Cheek are all paid Premier League wages after signing long-term extensions this season, While Callum Hudson-Odoi's bumper new deal, which starts on a £120,000 per week basic wage, has set the bar high for the upcoming negotiations with Tammy Abraham and Reece James. Marina Granovska's talent for extracting maximum value from unwanted players will continue to be crucial to Chelsea's overall business model. They've generated £397.4 million profit from player sales since 2013, a staggering figure that dwarfs any of their Premier League rivals and makes the 5 trophies won during the past 6 years look even more impressive. We can also expect Chelsea to remain aggressive in pursuing the best possible commercial agreements. Speaking to the Financial Times in 2017, the commercial director Chris Townsend signalled his intention to more than double the number of Chelsea's sponsors from 12 to between 30 and 35. But this, like anything else, becomes harder if the club is not in the Champions League. Chelsea are now in the final year of their £40 million per year shirt sponsorship agreement with Yokohama, and The Athletic reported in September that they were testing the market for a new partner. It wouldn't be surprising if the club opted to wait until nearer the end of the season in the hope that Lampard's team delivers Champions League qualification, strengthening their hand. Ultimately, though, the only truly game-changing avenue open to Chelsea is the project Abramovich has shelved. Planning approval for the redevelopment of Stamford Bridge expires in March, and as yet, there's been no indication as to whether it will be revived. Matchday revenue has been virtually stagnant in the club's accounts for years, affected only by Champions League participation. There's no appetite across the entire division to do anything with ticket prices, Wilson adds. That ship has sailed, and clubs also know that a change in ticket prices not only gives you pretty bad press with your fan base, but also doesn't actually generate a huge amount of additional revenue. The gains are very marginal, so the only tangible way of growing matchday revenue is to get more fans through the door. Chelsea sell out pretty much every week, so they need a new stadium. With no guarantee that a new Stamford Bridge will ever be built, keeping Chelsea winning at the highest level on the pitch will continue to require a delicate balancing act in the accounts, with Champions League qualification this season and beyond the top priority. The script for this video, written by Matt Slater and Liam Twomey, was originally featured on The Athletic, the best place to read about football online. Whether it's more behind-the-scenes insight, dedicated local reporting about your team, or rich storytelling from around the world, you'll find it all in one place. And if you like today's video, you might also like Straight Out of Cobham, The Athletic's new Chelsea podcast. So, get a 7-day free trial by visiting theathletic.co.uk/Tifo Football and get 50% off if you sign up for an annual subscription. To support Tifo, support The Athletic. Thanks for watching.